Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Pub Crew. I'm Ryan, that's Vic, and we today are actually on location at Engine 3 Brewing Company, and we are joined by Gilbert Medina over here, who is owner and brewer, correct?
Yes, correct.
Of said establishment that we're on sale, if you can't tell by the beautiful sign that's right above us.
Yeah.
And we're going to post some pics, too, that we got of the establishment, and you'll see it's really cozy. It's really intimate. I love the aesthetics. It's really cool. And Vic, fill in the rest of the address.
Roll the slideshow. Yeah, this is at 3112 Forney Lane, right here on the east side. You can see all the fireman stuff, which is super dope. I actually need to tell Eric about this place.
Yeah,
I think he'd really enjoy
like
here. Yeah,
for real. Yeah.
But thank you so much for having us. We really appreciate it. I hope everybody at home is doing well as well. Thank you for joining us. And honestly, I really want to get into this, so I'm very excited.
Yeah, because I got a flight. Because I'm not gonna lie to you, Chris has actually been talking a whole bunch, and I've actually been following you guys' posts, and I've been excited to come here to do this episode. Because one, it looks good, it sounds good, and Chris has been like talking up a storm. Chris from Undisputed, shout out.
He's one of our regulars here, so
Yeah, that drunkie.
No,
I'm just kidding.
No, he knows. I'm sure he's been called worse by better.
Yeah.
Ooh. So I've been looking forward to it, and I couldn't decide, so I got a flight over here. I think Vic got a flight too.
Yes.
Yeah, awesome.
So I got what I'm ready for. So I'm going to start with the Suicide Blonde, correct?
Hey, me too.
Yeah, that's what I'm drinking too.
Hey,
Nice.
hey, we didn't plan that at all.
Serendipitous.
Cheers, y'all.
Cheers.
And remember, in old Pub Crew fashion, you don't have to drink to chill with the Pub Crew, but it helps.
It helps. Oh, man. Okay, so you got to tell us about this blonde a little bit.
Yes.
This blonde is actually my first brew that I ever did.
Oh, wow.
Really?
So it's my OG of beers.
Nice.
So it's always going to be on the lineup. It's one of our
Your
core
flagship?
beers. So
Gotcha.
it's just super light, crisp.
Really?
I have two versions of it. One's a little bit more, not hoppier, but we dry hop it.
Oh.
So it gives it kind of gives you like it's an IPA, but it's not. You don't get none of the bitterness, but you get a lot of the hops aroma.
Yeah.
So we kind of go back and forth with those two recipes. This one tends to go. A lot of people that like the Bud Light, Miller Lights, they like this beer.
This is your
Yes.
This is your go-to. That's
So
definitely
that's why
like,
we have this version of it, and then we have the original version. The only difference is that we dry hop it.
Yeah.
But it's the same flavor. You just get a little bit more aroma from the hops. But that's one of my favorite beers and my first beer I ever brewed.
That's
Nice.
super awesome. Yeah, I could definitely see myself like chilling, watching a game. And
today's the day for this.
Yeah,
to be
it's so
honest with
passive,
you.
so you need something super light. You know,
Yeah,
you can drink all day long,
exactly.
I was going to get into that because that's one thing we always talk about here in poker when it comes to these breweries, especially around El Paso when it comes to craft beer, is craft beer still growing.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's gotten bigger definitely in these past.
yeah.
I want to say like 3, maybe 4 years.
Yeah.
But there's still people that are like, I just want a Bud Light. I just
Yeah,
want this.
yeah. We still get people that we get in here and they're like, they don't know it's a brewery even though they see the sign.
It's
But-
on the name.
Yes. Exactly.
It's
It
kind of in the
used to
name.
be the hydrant here, so they're used
okay.
to
Yes.
coming and getting a Jack and Coke and a Bud Light. So we're like, we try to explain them, and then we give them the Suicide Blonde, and they usually stick
I was
around.
gonna say
and
this is
have a
definitely
few
like
beers
that
of those,
transition
so-
beer to be like, hey,
Yeah.
you want a
Oh, yeah,
beer to get
definitely.
you into craft beer? This is
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
it's easy.
And
This
that's
is light, easy. It's gonna
Yeah,
get
it's
you
only
going.
4.1 on ABV.
That was gonna be
So,
my
yeah.
next question. Is what's
Yeah,
the
15 IBUs on it. So yeah, super.
Oh, this is easy. This is
super
drinking. This
refreshing,
is chill
crisp.
drinking. This is what you
Oh,
want
yeah.
on a game day like today.
Oh yeah, for sure. So.
Yeah.
And then we do another version, the same version, but we add peach to it, and that's also one of our top.
I
We
do
ran
like
out
me
right
some
now,
peach.
but yeah, that was my second beer that I made was a blonde and then a peach blonde after that.
Dang,
So
that's awesome. Yeah.
So
I'm gonna be on the lookout for those. I like
for
the dry
sure.
hop one especially because I'm a huge fan of IPAs. So
I like me
Yeah.
some peach. So you
Yeah,
said
yeah, and a lot of people that
Peach.
first get the other version of the blonde, they smell the hops and they're like, "Is this a like
An
West
IPA.
Coast IPA?" I'm like, "No, it's a blonde." So they're like kind of looking at me weird, like you're giving me the wrong beer. But
Yeah.
actually they taste it and they're like, "Oh wow, it's like super clean." I mean,
Yeah.
it's a blonde,
Yeah.
But they get that extra aroma, a little
Yeah.
more citrusy
And
coconut to it. You know?
Exactly.
I think
which
that's
that
what-
also comes with that.
Oh,
as
yeah.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what people who aren't used to drinking craft beer don't expect or experience, is that the flavor profiles between the aromas and what you taste and like is so different, is much more complex than when you just drink Bud Light.
Oh yeah.
or-
Oh yeah.
You know,
It's,
just-
it's two parts to a story when
Yeah.
it comes to craft beer.
Yeah.
Because I get a Bud Light, it's a Bud Light. You get a Budweiser, it's a Budweiser.
Yeah.
You get a craft beer, you have your aroma, you have the taste. It's two parts to a
Oh
story.
yeah. Yeah.
You
yeah.
get both. You need
Yeah.
both to tell you what's going on.
Yeah.
You'd be like, oh,
Oh yeah.
what is happening?
Yeah, I've got a good with my neighbors. There were Bud Light, Miller Lights, and now all they ask is dark beers. When I'm out, they see me in the garage, they're like, "Hey, you have any of your stouts or porters?" And they're like,
Yeah.
they never used to drink them, you know. So now I've moved them to. I mean, they still drink their Miller Lights and Bud Lights, but they're growing. You know, they're going
Yeah.
into the.
That's
and,
good.
Yeah, and I think it's slowly, but it's getting there. We still have a lot of room to expand. I think we're
Definitely.
like barely touching
Yeah.
the craft scene here in El Paso, but hopefully, you know, we'll get
Exactly.
more
I
people
think-
on board.
I think as much as like the craft beer scene here in El Paso has grown in the last 6 years, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's still young.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's
oh,
still
for sure. Yeah,
very young.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
still in like
for the size we are of a city and
Yeah.
and having cruises and Juarez, and
Juarez, yeah.
like we're like a city of 2 million during the day.
Mm.
You know,
For real.
so you go to other cities, they're half the size of this, and they got 30, 40, 50 breweries. You know, and
Oh,
they
yeah.
can't keep
Crazy to
up.
think.
They can't keep up, and I think we
Yeah.
have right now 9 to 10 breweries open.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So
right?
we're still young, you know, for a city this big.
And
So
and El Paso likes to drink, so it's
Which is
very
weird.
crazy. Yeah.
It's like, why is that the case? I think it's
Why
because
is
like
that the case?
I don't know. It's because I kind of know. It was a rhetorical question in the sense that it's kind of like it's because El Paso has that old school mentality. Where like
Yeah.
we have that traditional value where it's like
and they're stubborn.
Put-
They like
put a
one
piece of
thing,
Bud
and that's all
Light,
they
you know.
want to
It's
do.
like,
Yeah,
well, yeah,
yeah.
You know?
and like stick to what you know.
Yeah.
That's what I grew up drinking. It's like,
Yeah.
but there's better beer out there.
Yeah.
I hate to tell you, 'cause there's
Yeah.
better beer out there.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with trying other beer, especially local brews.
Oh yeah,
Support
yeah.
local.
It's as fresh as you could get. I mean, it's being made here.
It's
There's,
here.
You know,
Yeah.
not even a week old. You know, and
Yeah.
you're
Exactly.
drinking. You know, just like you go to a restaurant, you want fresh food. You don't want something that's been
sitting.
overcooked for
Yeah.
3 times. You know,
Exactly.
or sitting there for a while. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, people, you just gotta teach people and give them information of what the craft scene is all about. You know, and
Exactly.
once they see where it's made, they see the fermenters, they're like, oh, okay, they get a different concept and
Yeah.
different idea of what it is, and they actually enjoy the beer now. You know, they don't just chug it. You know, like
Yeah,
Bud Light, you
exactly.
know?
Yeah.
So you actually want to sit down and enjoy it. So
Exactly.
That's right. And I actually finished that one, so I'm gonna
So
get
did
on
I.
the next one.
So
But
did
it's
I. I'm
just
like,
so
I killed that
it's
one.
so crushable that it's
It's so
scary.
good.
That
oh yeah. It's only 4.1, so you could drink quite a few and still be functional.
So next one up on my lineup, I got the Mocha Espresso. Right, that's a stout.
The macadamian express.
Oh, macadamia.
Yeah, macadamia.
It is an A. That is my
espresso.
bad.
Yes.
The macadamia espresso. Yes.
And that's actually our original version of that one. It's the macadamian espresso porter, but since
okay.
we're moving into the stout season, we kind of did the same, but with a stout.
Okay.
But we get a lot of people asking about the porter version of it, so we still bring it back. It's just kind of we only have so many fermenters. We could only
Exactly.
But,
right
but
now
yeah,
you're in the
that's
stouts.
in the stouts, but
Yeah.
the porter's coming up pretty soon. I would say in a couple of weeks.
Nice.
There you go.
We'll have the porter version of it.
What you got, Vic? Same
Nice.
thing.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna keep the same. If we got the same
okay.
stuff,
I think we split off towards the end, but
Yeah,
we'll be
yeah.
fine.
First
Well,
two are the same.
Cheers.
Cheers,
Cheers on that. Second.
Oh, man.
Cheers.
I know. I'm super excited. So, I actually just wanted to ask about the you guys' opening. When did you guys officially open?
Our first day was July 4th.
Oh,
Yes, July
nice.
4th. So we're coming up on 3 months. This October 4th. So
Nice.
so yeah, going on 3 months that we've been
Nice.
open. We're finally we're doing our official grand opening. We try to do it this month, but the bands that we're planning on having, they were booked. So it's gonna happen October 14th. Will be our
Awesome.
official grand opening. We'll release some new beers, and we'll have live music. We're gonna have Umo cigars here.
Oh,
We're gonna do a
Hey,
little
shout out
event
Umo
on the patio.
Cigars. Hey.
So we're gonna do a special stout to pair with those for that event.
Oh, that's on the
And
what
on
again?
October 14th, Saturday.
Saturday.
Is that after
That's
segue
exactly,
into our next event?
Yes.
Exactly. It's like we run a show here or something.
What? Who does that? We don't have the production budget for that.
You're right. So yeah, no, that would be the day after you guys' collaboration with Undisputed.
Yes,
which
yes,
is going to be Friday the 13th, and I actually just realized it's Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
Mike, you said it like 3 times. Are you just now realizing?
Hey, I like the movie.
Like that,
You right.
that day's kind of familiar, but
It's kind of a something significant. I don't know, man. A little.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's crazy.
yeah, it's that time of the month with all the Halloween and all that,
Oh yeah.
all that stuff. So,
hmm
so we're actually gonna be showing all this month. We're gonna be showing movies with
Ooh,
with
horror movies.
horror movies.
Yo,
and everything.
hey, so
like
check
that,
out
so.
that, so you can get your spooky
Yeah.
fix in here at Engine 3
Yeah.
Brewery. Because
Yeah,
there's
for
there's
sure.
people. I mean, there's people that watch this that like that.
Oh, yeah.
So I mean,
Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
people that want to know, like, you can come get a beer and watch a scary movie.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, we're gonna
This is the
do
place to do it.
either
The
Wednesday or
ambiance is
Thursday night.
great
We're
here,
gonna do like
too.
a family night. You could bring the kids. We'll have free popcorn and hang
Hey,
out.
that's
And
cool.
Nothing
Check
like
out.
traumatizing the
Yeah,
kids.
yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
We'll have
We
some.
all had
We'll have
it.
some. We'll have some child
Yeah.
movies.
Oh yeah,
too,
like so.
but-
Oh, Nightmare
but,
Before
yeah.
Christmas.
Hocus
that-
Pocus.
Yeah, that'd be super
Come
fun.
on.
Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice.
Oh, man, that-
Yeah.
Casper.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. There's
That's
plenty.
super
There's
sick.
plenty to
There's
pick.
plenty. You got a
Oh, man.
number.
We got a whole month to show
RoboCop?
different
I'm
movies,
kidding.
RoboCop.
I was traumatized early as a child.
Freddy, we're gonna show Freddy Krueger for sure.
You gotta.
We got
Yeah.
to. It's a
Gotta
classic.
traumatize the kids some.
Yeah.
We
Yeah, and
not
of
want to
course-
go to sleep.
So, if you don't go to sleep on time, Freddy Krueger. That used to be the thing. No, just me. All right. never mind. I just want to say, so the macadamia espresso. Oh, like I'm getting real espresso vibes from it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's
for
really good.
sure.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
Like this is like that sipping espresso. That's why I'm like, ooh.
yeah, and even on our portraits, all those for the macadamia espresso is a little bit more pronounced because it's a lighter version of it. So
What's
but
the ABV on the
on this one's a 6%.
6%?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, we usually try to keep it. We'll do imperial stouts, but for the most part, we stay. The highest is 6.6,
Okay.
and everything.
I mean, that's
below
not bad
that,
for a
so-
for a stout because I mean,
Yeah.
you want to stouts are typically higher, but
Yeah.
that's good for a stout because I mean, like you said, so you're going imperial.
Yeah,
That's good.
Yeah, and this is our first batch, so we kind of went lighter on it, and then as we go during the fall and the winter, we're gonna be increasing it a little bit.
You gotta
Oh,
prepare for the
dang.
colder months, you know.
Yeah,
you gotta,
yeah, keep you warm.
You gotta
so.
keep warm, you know. I agree with that.
So this one's one of our lightest versions of the stout. So
Nice.
we drink a
Yeah.
few without passing out. So that's always
It's not a race.
that's the whole purpose.
Not a
We want to
race.
keep you standing up while you're
Yeah,
here, you
exactly.
know,
And I
so.
think that's a big thing that once you get more into craft beer, that you sort of learn to appreciate more is the taste of it, and not drinking to get fucked up, but just drinking to enjoy what you're drinking and
Yeah,
to
for
actually taste stuff that's not
Yeah.
like, I don't know, generic.
yeah, and
But,
that's one thing. Like my neighbor, like, or even not just people that come in here. They're like, I usually drink a 6-pack of Bud Light and I barely get a buzz. They come
Yeah.
here, they get 2-3 beers and they're like feeling good,
Yeah.
but they enjoyed the flavor. They they weren't.
You
You know,
enjoyed it.
yeah.
The
Yeah.
whole step
Yeah,
of
they
the
sip,
way.
sipping the beer and not rushing through to get to that buzz, So it's like,
Yeah.
and I always tell them, like, this is a little bit higher than what you're used to, but enjoy it, take it easy, and you'll be able to. The whole thing about craft beer, you want to enjoy every sip,
Exactly.
you don't want to just chug it down and you're like,
Yeah.
oh, that was good, but like
Yeah.
forgot what it was.
That's exactly like they're used to. Oh, I mean, when you drink like some beers, I'm not gonna name any names, but you realize that you're drinking them quickly because you don't really taste anything, or
Yeah.
you don't really
Yeah.
like enjoy the taste.
Or you're like, yeah, I'm just
Yeah.
trying to get through this beer.
yeah, exactly.
Well,
yeah,
that's the thing. There's really no taste to it. You
Yeah.
think about it. You're like,
Mhm.
you just know it's beer, but other than that, it's like okay, But
yeah.
yeah, that's one thing that's a lot of customers that are not in the craft, they start realizing that, and they actually enjoy it. So
Yeah. What is it that Mikey says? Life's too short for crappy beer.
Something like that. I think you're paraphrasing, but yeah, that's probably right.
You know, hey, just
I'm
saying.
sure that's close to what it says. So I want to bring it back. Well,
Oh yeah, my bad.
to the Undisputed and the Injured 3 Brewing event. What is it? Who can do it? What can we do? Who does what?
That day we're just promoting both our businesses, supporting us local. We're both local businesses. So that day we're having whoever wants to support us go to both locations. And if you come here first, take your receipt, show it over there at Undisputed. Same. If you go over there first, come over here, show your receipt. We're gonna give you a ticket. We're gonna raffle some gear, mugs, stickers, T-shirts.
Nice.
And then after that day, collect your raffle tickets, and we'll announce whoever wins the raffle tickets for each item. We'll post them on our Instagram account. And then anytime you come with a receipt after that first initial visit, you could get any growler fills for $10. And I believe Undisputed, they're doing half-price appetizers.
Ooh,
nice.
After that day, we bring your receipts showing proof. So yeah, I mean, we're trying to, help each other out, support each other. We're all both in the craft scene, so
Local supporting local.
Yeah,
we
that's
got
what
to,
so we love that. We love that around here in Pub Crew. So you're telling me I can get a $10 fill of any of these beers,
any of those, like,
and then go get some loaded freaking fries for half off. Some bruschetta, some fried mushrooms,
some pickles. Hells yeah. That sounds like a hell of a deal and a good time because you get the drink at the same time.
Yeah. I mean, you're getting good deals. You're supporting local. You're getting
buy a beer here, buy a beer there.
Yeah.
And then you get entered into a raffle.
Yeah. We got some pretty cool
discounts.
Gear,
What's not to like?
Exactly.
And it's just crafting with the community.
Exactly.
Yeah, for sure.
That's super awesome. And I feel like this year, at least with me, because we've been very busy. This dude just got married.
Awesome, congratulations.
That's my wife.
Yeah. And but I've been trying to get a lot more in touch with the local community of brewers and everything, and just all like the borderline crafting community and like all the people here local, and they've been super welcoming and super awesome. And it's really awesome to see when a new brewery opens that people love to go and support it. Because there's a bunch of like groups, but the Facebook group for like craft brewers here, and even just craft beer here, as soon as you open, everybody's just like posting on that, and they're like, dude, everybody, you guys need to try this out. You guys need to, and it's super awesome to see that. At least
the support on it's amazing.
Yeah, and at least the people who have been into craft brewing and they've been home brewers and everything, they love to support local places too.
Yeah.
Because it just brings the whole community up, and that's super awesome.
Yeah,
to see.
it's like a family. I mean, it's really like a family. They know how to brew. They know what it takes to brew beer, so they appreciate when they go to a local brewery, because they know, it sounds easy, but it's a lot of work to put into it, So they, they want to appreciate your beer and give you feedback, and vice versa. We always take feedback. We're not perfect. We're always learning. If you say you're never learning or you perfected your craft, you're probably lying, So you're always learning something from somebody and ideas or how to do something different. But yeah, it's a big support group, and it's a big family pretty much.
Yeah, and I think that's super awesome, and it's fun to see. I don't know, like I did want to ask, like, how long have you been brewing at home and everything, and like what's been like I guess since it's like the spooky season, has there been like any scary moments or any times where you've been like, oh, this was like an oh shit moment, This is my show. I can cuss on here. Why the fuck was I so scared to say that?
First of all, our show.
Oh, my
there
bad.
You go.
Selfish asshole.
My bad.
There you go. I wasn't afraid to say it.
No, I've been brewing about 5 to 6 years, and then when COVID hit, I really got into it since you couldn't go anywhere.
You had the time.
Couldn't do anything.
Well, now that you got time to brew a beer, I guess I'll brew a beer.
Yeah.
Can't argue with you on that one.
So I would go into shift with the fire at the fire station, get off, do groceries, go home, and start brewing. And I went through a lot of beer. I went through all my recipes. Tweaked them, got them to where I thought they were good to be able to, the whole plan was to open a brewery down the
From
road.
the start?
So it was
Snap.
kind of
Nice.
it started
You
just a
had the
hobby, a
plan.
passion, but then it was like, hey, it's like
I want to do something with this.
Yeah, I mean,
that's amazing.
I was having people go over in the garage, stand 6 feet, of course,
Yeah.
and here's some beer and give me your feedback, and so
Yeah.
it just kind of kept going like that, and a lot of my coworkers, firemen, start go after shift, pick up some beer, get some growlers so I could brew some more.
And
My wife could empty some
they'll
kegs.
give you the most honest
Oh
response.
yeah,
Yeah,
and that's the
for
thing.
sure.
They don't
They'll-
lie.
They'll tell you
they don't
straight
hold
up
back.
like, this is shit beer, or
Yeah,
hey,
oh, yeah,
this is good
yeah,
beer.
Yeah, and that's why they were one of my main tasters, guinea
Yeah.
pigs, because
They'll be the most honest response to
yeah,
you.
they don't care. It could be your best friend, and they'll tell you that your beer sucks.
Yeah.
So
But hey, man, I love you, but this beer shit.
yeah, oh yeah, definitely. So yeah, I mean, till now I still haven't gotten anybody which I don't. I mean, I do care, but I mean, it's not everybody's gonna like your beer. But so far, I mean, we haven't gotten any complaints or something.
Yeah,
that
because there's
they
one
didn't
thing to be like,
so.
oh, is it an honest criticism or is it just a
Yeah.
palate issue?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
sometimes it
Yeah.
comes down
So-
to maybe that you just don't like those beers.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that we drive home with everybody is that there's a beer out there for everybody.
Yeah,
Yeah.
oh, definitely.
You don't have to
definitely.
love every type of beer. The whole thing why we really like being co-host on this show is because he's a lot more into darker beers like stouts,
If you couldn't
porters.
tell
Yeah.
from the lineup I picked.
And I am always been more about a lot lighter beers, IPAs, hazies, sours. Had a whole 180 with sours. I used to hate sours, but now I love them.
I have not come across that one.
I
yet.
still can't get into
Yeah,
sours.
Gozas, like any of that the tart beers,
Yeah.
like
I have not come around to the same thing.
ciders. Like I'm usually more on the lighter side of stuff, and it works out because if he finds a beer that's like, oh, you would like this stout, like you need to try this.
Yeah.
Like he sends me beers and I send him beers that I could be like, hey, this is a hazy. It's not gonna be too like
Yeah.
hoppy for people.
He's actually been like a big help in me finding like, oh, okay, there is IPAs. I like
Yeah.
New England and I can
Yeah.
like hazies because
Yeah.
I'm like,
And
okay,
even
they're
now,
different.
like
Yeah.
milkshake IPAs too. I think
Yeah,
that's what.
so some are hit or miss, but I'm like, okay, I know what to look for now. I
Yeah,
know what
yeah,
to
yeah.
try. But okay, I know what's gonna probably get hit with me. What I'm probably gonna hate.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a fun journey. It's a
Yeah,
fun
yeah,
journey
yeah.
to just
You
explore.
just gotta try it and be like,
everything.
okay, now I know. Well,
Yeah.
what's crazy on that note, like today, my cousin at Undisputed, when we were watching the game, I realized because he's 21, right, and he's getting into because he was drinking with us.
21.
Yeah, 21. He's getting into like beers and stuff, which I thought was crazy because I knew he was, but I didn't put
Yeah.
it together because he just ordered the same thing my uncle did,
Yeah.
which was like a beer-wise beer, like a fruit beer-wise. Like
Oh, okay.
so he ordered that. I was like, okay, I didn't know he was into that. And as we were going, and like I was getting like different beers because I know what I like from there.
Mhm.
So I already knew like I know I'm gonna get. And then I asked him, I was like, oh well, did you like the beer? He goes, yeah, it was all right. And then I think I was drinking the Martin House Pumpkin Smash because that's in season now.
Oh yeah.
Well, because it's that season for
Pumpkin
me.
season.
Mm-hmm. And I'm all for it. So
Ooh, the Charlie Brown.
hell yeah.
Anyways, sorry. I was just thinking of another Halloween movie to show the kids.
So I was
There you
drinking that, and then he was like, he ordered that, and I'm like, oh, do you like that beer? He's like, well, I'm trying beers. And I'm like, oh, like I didn't put
Yeah.
pieces together. That I was like, he's still in, and then he drank it, but he killed the whole thing, and I was like, what would you think of it? He goes, it's all right. And of course, my mom was being an instigator. She's like, ooh, it's just all right. And I was like, well, what didn't you like about it? He's like, I'm not used to like some like the bitterness that you get from some beer. He's like, I'm still getting used to it.
Yeah.
Or I don't know. He's like, it was all right. And I go, okay, it's because he's still trying it. He goes, there's some beers that
Yeah.
he's liked, and but he wants to try. And I'm like, see,
Yeah.
that right there is like, he didn't hate it. He's like, it's all right. He's like, but I know that may not just be the beer for me.
Yeah.
Once again, that's also a seasonal beer. It's a pumpkin.
Yeah.
It's like a pumpkin beer. It's
Yeah.
stout. I'm like, yeah. But he's like, I didn't hate it, but it was all right.
Yeah.
And then I recommended him another beer, and he liked that one.
Yeah.
I was like, well, maybe you might like this. Like, let me just send you some beers. Try this, try that. And he'll be like, oh, okay. I'm like, so you just gotta try it, man.
Yeah, it's a big journey.
Yeah, I'm like, especially being like in a speed like where there's so many different beers, so
Yeah,
many different
yeah.
breweries. I even told him, like, you should see the local breweries. Oh, and he told me they went to Aurelia's.
Oh,
And I think he liked their lager. And so I was like, well, there's so many. You just got to try them, right?
Yeah.
But I'm like, it made me happy that I was like,
Yeah.
someone from our youth
Yeah.
exactly.
is like, yeah, I'm willing to try some beers because like I want to try them. I'm sure there's
Yeah.
different ones. There's gotta be some. Exactly.
Yeah.
Made me.
Yeah,
The spirit lives on. Damn it.
You can guide him now. You can send him
Exactly.
beers to be like,
Yeah.
hey.
Yeah, the
Try this.
craziest thing here too. We just ran out of our hazy IPA,
Man. Yeah.
and people come and we usually ask them, "What are you into?" So we could kind of guide them.
Yeah.
We don't want to give them something that they're completely hate. So it's like there's no point in going
Exactly.
that route. But we've had like a mango hazy. We have a coconut hazy, strawberry
nice.
hazy. So people, they're like, "I don't like. Give me anything other than IPAs." But then they see the name of it and they want to try the mango, and I'm like, "Well, that's an IPA." They're like, so I give them a sample, and they end up drinking that the whole night. That they didn't like IPAs, so it's kind of gratifying to get people to realize that there's so different types of IPAs.
Yeah, that may have been like
exactly.
me, where
You
it's
can-
like I just thought IPAs were IPAs until
Yeah,
you
you
guys
can-
showed me
it-
there's hazies, there's New
Yeah.
England, like, those are all different.
Yeah,
styles.
and
Yeah.
it's breaking the sort of what I like to say is stigma. Not that it's negative, but
Yeah,
a lot of people assume like, oh, if it's a stout, it's gonna be like
8%,
heavy,
9%,
heavy
and
and coffee flavored.
Yeah.
I mean, which it is, but that's not.
yeah.
There's a whole array. There's also like milk stouts and all that stuff. Even hazies. Oh, sorry, IPAs. Even something like blondes.
ales. There's so many
Yeah.
different types
Oh,
of
yeah.
ales. Like there's
Exactly.
not just an ale.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's got to be specific.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just not just lager. There's so many. Everybody does a different lager. Everybody
Yeah.
does a different pilsner. So
Yeah.
you might be all into lagers, but if you go and try 10 different lagers, you might not like all of them.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, you're gonna like one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the 10, but they were all lagers.
Yeah. So you just gotta be open to the idea that not every beer is the same. It's even though it's an IPA, either hazy or a lager, it's gonna taste different from every brewery. So and that's what's I think that's what makes it fun going to breweries. You're like, I'm into lagers, but then you come here, you're gonna taste different lager. You're gonna go to Aurelia's, you're gonna taste different lager. So you
Go to Craft Rhythm, get a different
everything,
lager. Go
Yeah,
to
yeah.
Dead Beach, get it. Like it's just
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
everyone does it
definitely.
different.
Yeah.
Which is
Yeah.
good. 'Cause
Yeah.
you want
Yeah.
that. There's variety. Everyone
Yeah,
does
yeah.
their own thing. That's
Yeah.
the whole point of craft
Everybody
beer.
has their own touch to their style, and
Exactly, yeah.
and it shows on your beers. So
Yeah, and honestly, that's something that I've been looking forward to now that craft brewing has exploded. Craft beer has exploded. Fuck, I picked the wrong word.
I saw it.
Yeah.
the style got to you.
Yeah. Oh, it did. I'm really excited about the cherry lips, though. It smells freaking amazing.
Oh, is that what you got next?
Yeah.
I got the pecan pumpkin,
Become
which I'm excited for because we were just
God
talking
damn
about
it.
pumpkin,
son
and I'm
of a
like, and I'm excited. Oh, is that what you had?
you had that one too.
Yeah. No, sorry. I'm also having
The pecan pumpkin.
a pecan.
Peas in a can pumpkin.
Yeah.
Well,
Cheers,
cheers.
cheers.
All right.
Cheers,
But-
guys.
Cheers. But that's what I'm looking forward to now that sort of the few breweries that have opened up lately and everything's progressing so well with local beer that I cannot wait to see more collaborations. I've seen a bunch of stuff like Old Sheepdog and Aurelia's have collaborated. I'm pretty sure there's been a bunch more that I failed. I can tell that this guy just died and went to heaven.
It's so good.
You might want to change your pants, bro. No, I'm just kidding.
It's too late. We're past that. You might want to change this cushion. Oh, that's so good.
Damn, that's fucking good. That's fucking good.
My
I like
inner
that.
white girl is satisfied. I tell everybody because I'm a sucker for the pumpkin spice season. I don't care. I don't give a fuck what anybody says.
Since we opened, we had people like, "Are you gonna do pumpkin pie? Are you gonna do a pumpkin beer? I'm like, let's get through this heat first,
First of all, slow your roll.
yeah. And,
Lower your voice.
and I'm not I could drink a pumpkin beer, but that's about it. I'm not a big, pumpkin beer guy. But I did a first batch, which was a cream ale about a month ago, just to kind of calm down those people that were kind of,
Satiate
they're
the
like,
needs.
Yeah.
every time they would come, they're like, you have a pumpkin beer? I'm like, so I did a light version of it just to, it's still kind of hot. I'm like, let me give you a little taste of it. And yeah, it did very well. And this is our actual original recipe with an amber. But
okay.
yeah, so we have we've been having it out, and people have been drinking it quite a bit. So
Oh yeah, I can
So
see why.
it's a pecan pumpkin pie
Amber.
amber.
Yeah.
It's an amber.
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah, I can see why.
Yeah, I see a lot of like browns out there in the market and stuff like that.
Browns
so I
is
wanted to
usually
do
what
a
you
little
see.
bit different,
You usually get browns or stouts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's typically what I see.
Yeah.
Someone's either doing a stout or a brown.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I think that's just because
Yeah,
browns
so-
really complement that nutty flavor. I
Yeah,
feel like that.
But even then, that depends what you're going for. Like,
and that's
so
the whole
sometimes,
beauty of it.
because I swear, I think it was like 2 years ago where I was doing I was on a spree of doing so many different pumpkin beers, because I wanted to
Yeah.
know what are the good ones.
I'm sure you still have a bad one in your fridge.
I have 2 bad ones in my fridge because I refuse to touch them and finish them.
Ugh, why don't? Never mind.
That'll be the punishment beer from whenever we have a party, and I'm like, guess what you get to drink?
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I don't want to finish it
Yeah.
because it wasn't good. 'Cause, like, I found so many beers that were okay, and a few that were like, oh, this is pretty good,
Yeah.
and then some that were just shit. Some that I was like, this is just terrible.
Yeah.
It's not even good,
Yeah.
and they stay in my fridge because I'm stubborn
They
like that.
stay in my fridge.
They have stayed there, and not for the best of reasons.
I know. That's what happened with the pizza beer that has become infamous.
still- Yeah, I almost tried it, and somebody told me don't, so I know. I
No,
never
it
did
was
like
not
it.
worth
They did
it.
you a
Yeah.
favor.
Yeah.
We did it, and
It was hard.
well, Vic made it manageable.
Yeah. Oh, but that was a whole
It
like
was an
Slim
effort.
Jim and
It took a
Red
took a
pepper
Slim Jim
flakes.
red pepper flakes to add directly into the beer to kind of zest it up a
Gotta
bit.
get some breadsticks and stuff. So
Yeah.
Put it in there. And
Make it something, because otherwise I'm like, what the hell am I drinking this for?
I'll always remember the description that you gave me because it's like somebody dumped pizza in there and then wrung out the
Squished.
grease.
It was in the room with pizza. They dipped it, wrung out the grease, tossed the pizza, and they let it ferment for a day or two. And we're like,
here you go.
boom, voyage.
Enjoy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is what it tastes like.
Yeah,
I don't
lo-
understand it.
I love pizza, and when I saw that beer, I'm like, nah, I think that's gonna ruin my love for pizza.
Exactly,
I won't even
yeah.
try it.
Whoever told you don't drink it
Yeah.
Yeah.
is a good person.
You owe them a beer.
Yeah.
They did we did it for you, so you don't have to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was
Because
terrible.
holy shit,
Yeah, I think there's a hot dog beer too now out there.
there is from the same.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny because I can both praise and talk down about Martin House
Yeah.
in the same sentence. Where I'm
Yeah.
like, these beers are all from Martin House.
Yeah.
I have a whole collection of their cans that I like because it's their
Yeah.
their barrel aged beers, and I'm like,
Yeah.
those are good. And then they also do the pizza beer, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then they've also done. I don't think that ever made it here though. They did the hot dog beer.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
saw that. And
And
I
that's-
had a few during COVID. Some of the guys that would go, they would take me some beer, to try out, and
Yeah.
we would switch beers, So there was like
Yeah.
a few
Beer
more in house
exchange,
that
that's
I
good.
was like, I don't know about that. And I think that's somebody told me during that time that don't try the pizza, man. Just stay away from it. So
That was around that time where we had it and we did that as an episode.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we,
that
we
was
did the
bad.
pizza beer and holy shit. And I heard about the hot dog beer and I told Vic. Thankfully, we couldn't find it, but I told him if we did find it, I was definitely gonna buy it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As much shit as I was gonna talk about it, I'd have been like, "We're doing it."
Yeah.
Because I believe I can't talk shit about a beer until I've rightfully tried it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Otherwise, how else are you gonna know? Because maybe you'll be surprised.
Yeah.
Well, maybe this is good hot dog water. Who knows? I'll never know unless they release it again. Martin House, if you watch this episode,
Yeah.
I'm sure it
I love
probably
you.
tasted like just or the little Vienna sausage in the cans, the liquid that
Yeah,
comes
yeah,
out
yeah.
of it, it's probably
Hey, you know
That
what?
doesn't sound any more.
so-
That doesn't sound any more appealing.
no, for sure.
That sounded worse.
Yeah.
yeah, probably.
I'd
so,
rather take it just the water they boil. They leave it in when they fucking trying to sell it to you on the cart.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what I imagine.
Oh, man.
yeah. I don't think we'll do anything like that over here. So I kind of
You heard it here first.
sorry if you were
Yeah.
expecting.
If you were
something.
expecting it, because No.
Oh, I guess on that note, what has been the beer that you felt was most out there that you've brewed, or what is one that you sort of had in your mind? Well, I don't want to like give away any secrets, but if you have had any in your, like recipes that you're like, you know what, I kind of wanted to mix this, but it sounds a little weird. Like, have you had any of those moments?
No, not really. I mean, everything that we've done, it's a base beer. You know, like this one, the pumpkin. I've always done an amber. Just we did the pumpkin version of it this time. The stout too. You know, we've done. We're gonna do a s'more stout. We're doing
nice.
red velvet cake stout.
Oh,
that's
say again.
We're doing a cookies and cream, which I think it's gonna be ready next week or so.
Nice.
Back
So
to the red velvet. When's that going to be ready?
that one's probably like in 3 or 4 weeks. We'll
Fantastic.
probably be doing it. So, so I haven't really done like crazy stuff. One that we did that it turned out pretty good was we had a hazy, and we just threw a bunch of pineapple, peach, a little bit of coconut, and a little bit of cherries in it, and we called it the fruit cup.
Yeah.
Oh,
The
that's
little
really
fruit
good.
cups that you know,
Yeah,
when
yeah,
you're
yeah.
little,
Yeah.
with the syrup, and it has all the fruits and stuff, and
Yeah.
and we're like, we had some leftover fruit, and we were brewing, and we're like, you know what, I told my other brewers, I'm like, let's try something with it, like I don't want to,
Yeah.
it wasn't
What-
enough to make a batch of anything, so we're like, let's just put it all together, see what we get,
Yeah.
and it was
That's
like
really
we
cool.
sold out right away of that.
That's
We just
good.
sold out of that. That's a hazy that I had
that's
yesterday
super
that we
cool.
ran out too. So that one we've been brewing, I think, like 3 times already.
Oh, that's super
Because
dope.
it was such a hit,
Yeah.
and it was just like an experiment. that-
Yeah.
I think those are some of
that
like
we did.
those are some like the best beers where it's like
Yeah.
you just were like, well, this sounds like it should work.
Yeah.
It sounds good. You're like, yeah, let's fuck
Yeah,
it. Let's try
we're,
it.
we're laughing about it when we're like, they asked me,
Dude,
what do you want to name it? I'm like, looking at it, I'm like, it's a fruit cup, like it just came,
That's what
like,
it is.
It's a little bit of
Yeah.
everything,
Yeah.
So yeah,
And
sure
it
enough.
fucking, and then it sells, and you're like,
Oh,
wow.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Huh, those
Yeah.
are some like the best beers.
Yeah,
to be
no,
honest
actually,
with you.
people come in and ask, like, you have the fruit cup, or when are you gonna make it again, and this and that. So they like specifically come for certain beers that we just
And
played
that's
with.
good.
Yeah.
So
And that's
awesome.
a problem to have.
Yeah,
Yeah.
oh, yeah.
That's a good
And
problem to have.
Actually, that's been sort of like a note that we get from a lot of breweries and brewers here in El Paso is that like nobody ever really knows what's gonna go very well with the crowd.
Yeah.
Because you're not only you're brewing for yourself, but you're brewing for the people. You know?
yeah.
Like,
You just can't brew everything. Like I said, like I'm not into pumpkin, but I brew it because I know people love it.
Yeah.
But I don't
Word.
care for it. I could drink one, and that's about it. But
Yeah.
but like but you gotta make a little bit for everybody. It's not just
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
you like
Mhm.
or what you think it's gonna go well.
That's an important thing
So,
to know as a brewer too. Is you're not brewing for you, you're brewing
Yeah.
For your
also
audience,
for,
yeah.
know the room.
And
Read
that-
the room, know your audience.
That always touches to what we always go back to when we have like anybody who's like close to any brewing stuff is that it's such an art, it's such a science, both like in one.
Yeah.
It becomes such a thing that it's a lot about like the science behind it and the quantity, the temperature, all this stuff. It's you can be as loose or as methodical as you want with it, but then that also becomes a part of like the creativity that you have to have for brewing all these beers and what flavor profiles you want, what type of hops you want to use, all this stuff. That's something that we see a lot with every brewer here that is
Yeah, and that's what I tell people. You're like a chef. If you look at it,
Exactly.
you're
Yeah.
making beer. It's liquid, but you're just like doing a chef.
Yeah.
Every chef learns their basics, and then it's until when they're experimenting with different things that they come up with their own style, and then that's what they're known for because that's all. You know what? You could have a mole from 10 different places, but everybody's different because they have
Yep.
their special
Yeah,
touch to it,
yeah.
and that's what makes it fun. That's
Exactly.
what makes it different from everybody. And that's what makes it fun. It's a lot of hard work, but it's like makes it fun when you do something like, let me experiment with something, and then people love it. So
Yeah.
that's like the best feeling you could get.
Exactly.
As a brewer.
Yeah, no, that's awesome because I feel like I really relate to that since I work on music and I do a lot of creative stuff. It's really cool to see how I sort of work through music is the same way people work through brewing or do something like that. And even then, I started getting into it. I really just started getting into brewing mead.
Yeah.
So that's like it's a different ball game, but it's still brewing, you know.
Yeah.
And it's just different time frames, different waiting periods, and all that stuff. And it's really cool to see even that. I know not a lot of people do it here, but I actually found out one of my coworkers brews a lot of mead, and he's been giving me pointers, and it kind of just ties back to that whole community thing where he's like, oh shit, I finally have somebody to talk to about brewing, you know, like I can just have casual conversations with this person about like what we're working on and where we're at on our like brewing stages and stuff like that. And it becomes so freaking awesome to see. And I actually forgot the next question I was going to ask you, because I know you said you've been brewing for a few years, but have you like collaborated a lot with any other people, or like have you sort of like seen breweries that you've kept your eye on that you're like, if when I opened my brewery, like this would be like what the type of stuff that I would want to do or anything like that?
Not doing anything specifically, but before Blazing Tree opened, I was one of the owners. He's a coworker. He's also a fireman, and we worked at the same fire station. So after our shifts, we were like, "Hey, we brewed this beer. Come in, check it out, taste it, tell us what you think." So we would go after work, go and sample beers, do whatever they had brewed for that week, whatever, and we just sit there and talk about the beer. What do you think about it? This and that. So that's where I kind of like the process of opening my own brewery kind of, I guess, started there. So I was like, you know what, this is pretty cool. Like I want to get more into it. So I've been following Blazing Tree since, before they even opened. So So I would go, just hang out there in the back of where they brew now, and it was just, some kegerators there, and get drunk and free beer, and bring a growler, take some beer, and the same thing when I was brewing at home. They, I invited them over. They went over, tasted my beer, and so we've kind of kept that, kind of friendship. We haven't done nothing as far as brewing, but I'm sure we will. Also with Three Missions with Rick, I've known him since
shout out to Rick.
he was there, working. So I've known him. He was, I think, the first employee or bartender. So now that he's open over there, I've visited him. I've taken him homebrew when they first opened, and kind of talk about the beer and stuff. And he was here a couple of weeks ago, and he we brought it up about doing something together. So
that's
I think
super awesome.
So I think that we'll probably do something soon with them, with Three Missions. So.
See, and that's awesome hearing that, like, with the community is like, it's just collab.
Yeah.
It's just a
have fun.
It's a caring community.
Something out.
It's so crazy that for a city that's so big on supporting local and helping each other out as a community, that we don't have as many breweries as we do, because honestly, a lot of brewers is like the brewing people here is a community of its own. Everybody helps each other out. Everybody wants everybody else to succeed. And like, when I think it's crazy because we met Rick a few years ago. At this point, and when they were opening and everything like that. And it's crazy to see how when we did the show with him, he was like, I'm not really like a camera person. I don't really do all this
Me
stuff.
neither. I hate cameras. I hate pictures.
And now he's doing like the little
he does
releases.
every beer he puts a he's the face of the, which is good. I mean, I'm still, I don't know if I'm ever gonna get to that point, but but I give him props.
I hate to ruin it for you. You're on camera.
I hope you block my face after this. So
we're gonna zoom in on your face. I hope you know that. We're gonna emphasize your face the whole time.
My whole face on the screen.
Every time you talk, your face is gonna be enlarged.
It's gonna be a slow zoom for like the past 30 minutes.
Zooming in and out.
Up until you say that, like, I hate cameras.
No
pressure. No, never. Not on this show. What kind of budget you think we're on? An effect like that? That's our whole year. Oh, you're on your fourth beer?
Yeah, actually,
sick.
I actually wanted to bring the cherry lips up.
I'm on the apple pie.
Yeah, and actually, that's one of our second experience with cherries. I don't like cherries. The first one that we did was a black cherry. It was cherries from Italy. We we had some of those cherries we were I think in Scottsdale, Arizona. We went to my wife had a nice fancy drink and they put black cherries on top of it. So she's like, "You want a cherry?" I'm like, "No, I'm not." And she had one and she's like, "Oh my god, this is the best cherry." And I ate it. I'm like, "You know what? I got to make a beer with it, you know, like I hate something but I make something good out of it, you know." And it was like people have been asking, we're going to bring it out soon. I think probably next week. It's going to be a black cherry ale. It's super good. It's almost like a wine type of beer.
Yeah.
So all the ladies love that beer, you know, and even guys, you know, too. But that's one of it. Like, I think like the craziest stuff that I've done, you know, like do a black cherry. I've never seen a black cherry beer out there. So
that sounds crazy.
It came out pretty good. So, and that's the second one. That one we did sour cherries and regular red cherries on that. So it has a little. Yeah.
And I got the apple pie. It's a stout, right?
That one as well. Yeah, that one's a stout. Apple pie stout.
What the fuck? Oh, cheers.
Sorry, I already tried it. This shit is super good. Oh man, can I give you a name for the black cherries beer?
Sure.
Whoa, black cherries, bam, bam. Sorry, we're
wow. I'm proud of you.
We've got a couple people name some of the beers.
Nice.
I have some names to some of them, not all of them. So, but yeah.
No, that's awesome.
What's the ABV on the apple pie? The stout? Is it like
stout,
a
it's a
6?
6
6 as well?
Yeah.
Nice.
That's good.
Yeah, we started low and we're inch it little by little on the other stouts. So kind of get the people warm up a little bit to it. So.
Yeah, and it's. I mean, that's not just because of time of fucking year, but I think it's also good to have a good variety of different beers. I was actually like very intimidated that you have so many beers out already with just 3 months in.
Yeah,
you know, like that's super awesome. That's you don't really see a lot of people who just started out sort of have that variety. They usually stick to a few flagships and then they
3 or 4 and that. So.
And that's also good, but it also becomes a thing where when you get people who don't drink craft beer, it becomes such a easier thing to target them and be like, okay, what do you usually drink?
Instead of having 4 options, you got 12, 14, 15 options. Eventually they're going to find something they like. So
it's like you said, sometimes people come in, they hear the name of something like, well, that sounds good. And you're like, well, try it out. And then they're like, well, hold on, I really like this beer. It's like, see, that's not even what you were here for.
Yeah,
but you like it.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's all it takes. It's just you gotta try that beer.
Yeah,
and it's even more impressive, like to have, you know, what you have plus, I don't know how many that you said, like down the road.
Yeah,
like from a week to like 4 weeks from now. That I'm like, that's a good lineup. I'm excited for it.
Well, that's the thing that I was actually gonna hit on when you mentioned Martin House is that. They have like 50 beers that we're never gonna see in their tap rooms and stuff like that.
Yeah,
because they're also local, but they do like exporting to like the whole U.S. and stuff. But that's something that I think is the beauty of a lot of local breweries is that breweries are gonna come up with weird, crazy beers, or they're gonna come up with their own style of something that is sort of tried and true. And I mean, once it's gone, it's gone. Like, you get to experience it. It becomes that moment that, hey, I was a part of this, you know?
Sometimes it comes back. Sometimes it don't.
Sometimes it doesn't. Like, the one thing I was thinking of, since ever since you mentioned Blazing Tree, was the bacon beer that they did.
Oh, yeah.
Like, they never brought that back, but, like, it was people really
won
loved
an award.
Yeah. And it was crazy.
It won a medal somewhere, I think, right?
Like, and it was crazy because the question that everybody asked when they made it, it's like, did you guys eat the bacon? You know, and
the answer was yes. And when we got there, it was eaten, and I was very upset.
Yeah. And actually, one of I don't know if it's too crazy, but one of my brewers, he owns JC Pecans in Clint.
Nice.
So he just won awards from the state for best pecans in the state of Texas.
Ooh.
So I know 3 Missions use his pecans. We use his pecans. I think Mountain Star.
Nice.
And I think that's about it. But he had smoked some pecans, and we planning on doing like a smoked pecan beer with that, you know. So
Yeah.
so yeah, we're probably
sounds
something
good.
that I never thought about it, but when we always eat all his pecans. We have them at the house, and we eat them all the time.
Yeah.
And then he's like, you know what? I want to try something different. And so he smoked some, and they were delicious. So,
Dude,
so
that
we're
sounds
probably
amazing.
thinking of
Yep.
down the road do something
Yeah.
like something like that. You know,
Yeah.
maybe throw a little bacon in there too.
Hey,
Or a little ham or something,
Yeah,
you know?
And, dude, that's so awesome. And I love that type of stuff because, like I said, I love the fact that it's like a science and an art, and the art aspect of it is that you never know where you're gonna find inspiration from. You never know where you're gonna find your next beer. Or I sort of tie it back into like hip hop, and I don't know. I'm sorry, I don't know what type of music you listen to. I listen to
a little bit of
everything. Yeah, but like with like the golden era hip hop and 90s and stuff like that, with all the sampling and everything, where people would listen to records to find little snippets that they would sample, you know.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's they never knew where they were gonna find inspiration from, but like if they found something that sounded good or something, like, hey, let me try it out, and they played with it. They made their own little recipe, so to speak, you know. Kind of like brewing, and that's super awesome to see.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's like a few of the beers, like the black cherry. I would have never planned on doing a black cherry, but that was like that moment, like, you know what? I think I could do a cream ale with that, you know, something light,
Yeah.
simple, and then like some, you know, and it worked out great, you know. So, you know, now with the pecans and smoking it and stuff, I would never. I've had some smoked beers, and I'm not a big fan of them, but I'm like, you know what? Maybe let's give it a try with this, you know, and see how it comes out. And you know, it's kind of one of those things you just never know where you're gonna get that inspiration or idea of, like, you know what? Let's try something with it, you know.
Yeah.
And it ends up turning, you know, doing good, you know, and tasting good too.
Yeah.
Main thing is tasting good. So
Yeah, that's super awesome.
No, I love it. I'm actually looking forward to that.
yeah. We actually have a big bag of pecans in the fridge right now that we're gonna do something with that. So
Nice.
yeah, we definitely want to do the smoke one and do some, you know, something towards that style. See
Safe to say the pecans that were in the pecan pumpkin pie were also from the
JC.
Yes.
JC's?
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah.
Damn, that's so good.
Yeah, I've been using his pecans. We actually went to the fire academy together. So he just retired. So I've known him for 24, 25 years.
Oh, nice.
So, so when he found out that I was brewing at the house, I'm like, you know what? I need some of your pecans. And he brought me some, and we did my first pecan. I think it was a pecan porter.
Oh,
nice. Can't go wrong with that.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
we mixed them in, and then we also dried hop with the pecans. So,
Ooh.
yeah, it came out pretty good. So.
Hey, awesome. Well, you know what? I know we're like an hour into the show, but big shout out to firefighters, man. Thank you guys
Thank
so
you.
much for everything that you guys
Thank
do.
you guys.
I mean, fucking, that's so awesome. Because that's why I mentioned my buddy Eric. I work with him now, but he was a firefighter. He messed up his back, so he had to retire and stuff like that. But like, he would honestly love this place, and I think it's awesome how everybody who I've met who I find out was a firefighter at one point always talks about everybody else with like such respect, and you guys really like form like such a strong community and a strong bond between
Yeah, it's a
each other.
brotherhood.
Yeah, exactly. And it's so awesome to see, because even a good friend of mine, Rick, his dad was a firefighter for fucking years, and when he talks about it, he was like, yeah, I fucking love all those people, like all this shit.
Yeah.
It's so fucking amazing. And I mean, you guys are fucking risking your fucking lives and shit like that, and putting out fires and shit. Like, that's fucking badass.
And what's kind of cool, I think, is like we have, if we meet a firefighter, they have a passion for the job. You know, so they love the job. It's not a job, actually. We consider it as a hobby that we get paid for, which is cool, you know. But it's a
That's
passion.
what makes
You
it
gotta
awesome.
be passionate about a job like that, because it's not for everybody.
Yeah.
No,
and,
for real.
And my two helpers, my other assistant brewers, they're both firemen too.
Oh,
so
shit.
it's three of us firefighters. One retired. I'm still with the department. I'm about to retire sometime soon.
Yeah.
And my other brewer, he's fairly young, but yeah, we both are passionate about the beer too. So you know, it's kind of we still kind of have that brotherhood on the job, and then out here too.
Out here brewing,
so-
out here crafting and
so
doing all that good
badass.
stuff. Yeah.
That is so fucking
so
badass.
it's pretty cool. Every beer is brewed by local firefighters.
Yeah,
so,
hell
you
yeah.
know,
Yo.
so
So
it's pretty
fucking
cool.
support your firefighters. Come drink some beer.
Get some beer here.
for sure,
Show
for
them
sure.
some love.
Yeah. That's so awesome, man.
Dude, I love it.
Yeah.
And so we just had a retirement party from one of our deputy chiefs here, so it was
shit.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
The whole day was full of retired firefighters, active firefighters, and
Nice.
we all had a great time. So it kind of
Yeah. And I guess that would be the last question I should ask is, what made you choose Engine 3 as a name?
part of it, I just wanted something like industrial, since all the equipment is stainless steel.
Yeah.
It's it's industrial looking.
Yeah.
So kind of like that steampunk kind of.
Yeah.
Oh, I
you
dig
can get
that.
a little bit from the furniture.
Yeah.
Little leather, little metal, stainless steel, stuff like that. And then plus where I'm at, it's the fire station that I'm at is station number 3.
Oh.
And now they're called Pumper 3, which is
Yeah.
a fire truck, but back in the day it used to be called Engine 3.
Oh,
So there's like
okay.
Chicago, like other cities, they still have.
Yeah.
If you see Engine 10, Engine 11. So I kind of went with a vintage kind of name of the
Gotcha.
where I'm at working, because that's where I'm gonna retire. That's my last stop. So kind of like,
That's
and it's a
awesome.
historic kind of station. It's one of the oldest stations still in the city downtown.
Oh,
So,
Nice.
so just kind of bring that a little bit of the fire.
That's bringing your mark back onto your beer over here.
Yeah.
Your not only your life career here, but back
Yeah.
into your
Yeah. So
craft
I'm going
career.
from one passion that I did for a living, and now I'm going to another passion that I have is the craft beer. So
bringing it over. Yeah.
bringing it, tying it together.
Because in the
you
end,
know?
I mean, you technically, like, just based off the way you talk about both of them, I mean, it's a shared passion.
yeah.
And you're just bringing it's technically they've been working hand in hand this whole time.
Yeah.
And now you're just
Yeah. It's kind of like I tell
you're just
people,
carrying
like,
the mantle over to the other.
like I feel blessed for 24 years doing something that I'm passionate about with the fire department, and then now I'm going into my next stage of life that I'm passionate about it. So
Yeah.
it's kind of hard to find two things that kind of work together, and and make and make it a living off of it, So
Yeah,
I think that's
exactly.
pretty cool.
That's so fucking awesome. That's so inspiring to hear, honestly.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
I mean, I don't know if you have any closing questions or anything.
No, I was just gonna recap it for
Oh
wrapping
yeah,
it
for sure.
up.
Yeah, because we're at like an hour 10, so I feel like we can
Yeah.
cut it out. I mean, should we ask like the old question? Now that we've talked very thoroughly about really deep conversations and cool topics.
I'm Jim from The Office. Dead still.
we used to have really raunchy questions to ask people at the end of an interview. The first one would be knee socks or thigh highs.
Thigh.
Thigh highs.
Thigh highs win, bro. I'm telling you.
100%.
There's only been two knees.
There's only been 2 knee socks. Yeah, that's crazy.
It tells you how skewed the render is. I don't have to count the thighs.
Yeah.
I can just count the knees. I know how many people said knees, and it's been 2.
Yeah, everybody else. Is,
Everyone else has been thigh. I'm like, I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure the consensus is clear.
Yeah, that's super crazy.
That's not that crazy. I get it because I'm in the
I
thigh
get it.
category.
Yeah.
I'm on the winning side here. I
I
understand where we're coming from. Where we are coming from.
Awesome.
Guys, take it.
Yeah,
I
no,
think it, I'm
definitely.
telling you.
It's been that way for years.
Yes. In all this history, yeah, it's proven true and true
Mm-hmm.
again.
Awesome. Well, I don't know how raunchy we want to get, so I don't know if that's like the one we want to ask. But before we do close out, once again, you can come by Engine 3 Brewing Company here at 3112 Forney Lane.
Next to the firefighters' hall, because a lot of people get a little bit confused, but it's right next to the firefighters'
Yes,
hall.
it is
Yeah.
right next to the firehouse. So if you see them on Lee Trevino, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Lee
Yeah.
Trevino and Pebble Hills, right next to the
That's right.
firehouse.
It used to be the old hydrant. So a
Mm-hmm.
lot of people, they're like, "Oh, that's where the hydrant used to be." I'm like, "Yeah, that's
That's
where we're at
exactly
now."
where it
So-
used to be.
Yeah. And be sure to remember to check out Crafting with the Community, both here at Engine 3 and Undisputed on Friday the 13th. Me at like a spooky sound on there. Be sure to show proof of purchase at both places. Make sure to get into that raffle, win some prizes, win some food,
Mhm.
win whatever.
Support your
Um,
local. Support your local businesses.
Exactly. And then the day after is going to be the grand opening
Yes.
here at Engine 3.
Brewing Company.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be awesome, too.
Yeah, definitely.
What time does that start here, by any
It's a whole
chance?
day event. Humo Cigars will be here, I believe, at 4 p.m. And then we have Semitones playing here at night.
Nice.
I think at
Nice.
8:30 till closing. We'll be closing at 2 a.m. that night.
Nice.
They were here last Saturday, and we ended up staying open till 2 a.m. It's just we had a good crowd. Everybody was having a good
Awesome.
time,
There
good
we go.
music.
Yeah.
So we'll be having them here again, and then we're gonna do some more raffles. We're gonna have some specials and some new releases, and kind of little Oktoberfest that we're gonna be doing. At
Oktoberfest in October, you heard that.
Yeah.
So the 13th,
Yeah.
you got the Crafting with the Community with Undisputed and Engine 3. Remember, go back and forth between the two, and then grand opening, and then Sunday, finish it off at both again.
I just
Yeah.
said that.
I'm recapping the recap.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us, guys. I hope you have a
Thank you for
great
so
rest
much
of
for
the week.
joining us, guys. I hope you
Thank
Yeah.
you so much.
No,
is that what
for
you just
having
said?
us. I really appreciate it.
Thank you guys for stopping by.
Yeah, anytime.
Thank you, Gil. We
We'll
appreciate
be
your
back,
time, man. Anything you want to say to the folks at home?
No, come and check us out if you haven't. Really appreciate your support, and that way we could keep on putting some good beers out, and
There we go.
come and enjoy it, have a good time, and it's a nice place to come in and hang out. It's always nice and cool. So
Mhm,
we
definitely.
have a
Really
nice
is.
patio too.
Yeah.
So, but
Oh yeah. Oh, we didn't even talk. Me post the pictures up. Just do it at the beginning.
Didn't we already?
Yeah. See you guys later.
See you guys. Thank you.
Thank you,
Bye.
guys.